Hi, my name is Farhana Shakira Ambar. I'm going to be the first to present about our topic of fraud financial, which that we take a case from TESCO UK. As for the first one, for the first point, I'm going to introduce as a general about our fraud financial, which that I'm going to explain as briefly about how does it mean by tone at the top. Tone at the top was the roles that going to play as for board of director and management to make sure their company runs smoothly, which that they need to act as an integrity and ethical ideas to make sure the company was reach their profit target. To strengthen the internal control system of the company, the leader of the organization must act rightfully to encourage the other staff to follow their ethical behavior so that they have an effective control system. Carry on by the thought at the top that going to explain in our case target, which is that TESCO UK was known as the largest grocery shop, which that by the following finding they have an exaggerated amount by 263 million pound, which is originally was 250 million pound after it being announced in 2014. It shows that they are decreasing in their profit amount of that fiscal year. The law internal controls among the board of director and employee which we can relate to is that when the small numbers of employees made an agreement with the supplier to still be able to make the payment although they know the financial of the company was unhealthy. Also, the issues of the departure of the CEO and the other eight senior executives during the issues arises was being questioned. So, who is the whistleblower? Itself was Amit Soni, the senior accountant in the TESCO UK. He informed the grocery top management in 2014 of the overstatement of the profit. He later testified in court and personally ordered a thorough investigation um, of the profit manipulation and as that his team was exhausted of the environment, whereas the period top management was disregarded, revealed wrongdoings, and was reluctant to take actions of warning offered in 2014 audit report.
So next, I'm going to present the pressure, opportunity, and rationalization of those perpetrating the fraud. The first is TESCO was found to have exceeded its earning by 263 million pounds after revenue recognition issues were discovered in its half-year reports. Regulators include the Financial Conduct Authority (FCA) deciding on the reasonable penalty. The supermarket expected a half-year commercial profit of roughly £1.1 billion. TESCO has not investigated the number to see why its first half profit forecast was so overstated. So, the present financial controversy involved TESCO is a symptom of underlying problem. The outcome of corporation that look to have people flow that run all the way up to the board level. The issue may have been prevented if correct bookkeeping processing has been carried out by an objective accounting company rather than in-house reporting system that is susceptible to pressure from the higher-ups. And since the existence of outsourced bookkeeping is not reliant on maintaining a positive relationship with executives, there is no pressure from above to make things appear better in order to maintain their employment. So, for the consequences, effect penalty imposed for the audits, company, management, any relevant parties, and shareholder. The first is I'm going to explain about the auditor. Auditor has a lengthy history of failing to detect huge fraud. According to TESCO financial report, PwC found some of the accounting irregulation and brought them to the company notice. There is no mention of the commercial revenue in PwC independent auditor report in TESCO 2030 annual report. For the next is for the company. The scandal impacted TESCO in 2050 loss of £6.4 billion, making it one of the biggest in business history. Since the crisis, dealing TESCO has been dealing with the fallout from its own obstinacy in utilizing aggressive accounting techniques. The high low was caused by the cost of the sales, as can be seen in the chart. The consequences, effect, and penalty imposed for the management. In 2012, TESCO Chief Financial Officer Lawrence McQueen issued a warning to the company accounting staff through internal email, urging, urging them to maintain an honest and trustworthy approach toward the company financial account. At the same time, PwC made it clear to the Audit Committee on many occasions that there is potential for the financial statement to be manipulated via the use of commercial revenue. The accounting problem is the responsibility of the top management of the school, as well as the accounting department, the committees, and the independent auditors. And the next is for the shareholder. TESCO is also potentially facing legal action from separate group of between 50 and 100 institutional shareholders based on the United Kingdom. In addition to the number of the previous settlements, which are believed to have cost aggregate amount of several £100 million, it is expected that TESCO will most certainly pay more than £100 million on the group of the shareholders. And for the last is any relevant parties. Several investors are threatening to sue TESCO for the total of £100 million due to an accounting fraud. TESCO is facing legal action from investors who claim to have lost £150 million as a result of the accounting issue. Next, I will pass for the next presenter.
Finally, to be concluded, the board of directors and management must demonstrate their commitment to integrity and ethical values by their actions and choices in order to improve internal control in the organization. In the accounting industry, the phrase tone of the top refers to the overall environment or image of the firms in the term of ethics. This slips was the core of an accounting problem, but rather than address the looming difficulties, TESCO exaggerated its result. Analysts conclude that the company's internal system and financial reporting process were inadequate. A change in top management at a time when the company's revenues and profitability were under pressure was a red flag. According to Deloitte, TESCO's profit in the first half of this year were overstated by £118 million. The company updated its balance sheets and posted the greatest loss in its almost 100-year history, with £5.74 billion. The corporation's market value was £19 billion prior to the accounting irregularities. TESCO agreed to pay $12 million to U.S. shareholders who claimed TESCO accounting irregularities boost the supermarket's share price. Hence, the firm substantially underestimated its predicted profit due to stagnating sales, failed outside expansion, and intense discounted competition. TESCO's top management was notified by senior accountant Emmett Sonny of a $250 million profit overstatement. In court, Sony testified that his team was falling apart in a hostile environment. TESCO was discovered to have overstated its earnings by $263 million. Revenue recognition issues were discovered in its half-year reports. TESCO has now looked into the figures to determine why its first half profit prediction was so high. It requests that Deloitte conduct an objective and thorough investigation. The case revolves around an alleged accounting shortfall found by TESCO in September in 2014. The corporation admit that it had overestimated earnings by around $250 million. PwC has audited TESCO since 1983. Deloitte immediately took over for PwC. Third-party accountants are more likely to provide unbiased reports. There is no pressure from above to make things look better in order to keep their job. TESCO asked Deloitte and Freshfield to conduct an urgent investigation. Last but not least, I would like to highlight about the tone at the top. The tone at the top establishes the guiding ideals and ethical atmosphere of a company. It is the glue that ties a company together. Creating the proper tone at the top is becoming more popular, and that such a tone is regarded necessary for leadership. The tone at the top of the organization must also be analyzed during the audit of the financial accounts of the company. Corporate governance and ethics were explored first, since tone at the top involves ethical leadership and ethical atmosphere. The Companies Act and the King IV report cover the ethical leadership of a company's governing body and management. The corporate governance procedures that apply to a corporation are determined by the philosophy that the organization employs, which might be agency theory, shareholder theory, enlightened shareholder theory, or stakeholder theory. So that's all from us. Thank you.